Hey friends, so today is going to be a very exciting day because we are going to go out and start harvesting the first official harvest of our garlic. So we planted the garlic together. I'll leave that video down below. We've done two different varieties. We've done one soft neck, one hard neck. So one variety should develop scapes. To be honest, I can't remember on top of my head which one. But the varieties we got is like a Dungangski Purple. I'll leave the text on screen. Obviously I can't pronounce that properly. And an Australian white garlic. Now, one variety, it's not complete, but I'm going to harvest it because it's starting to do the witch's brooming. It's dying back too much. The cloves are all formed, the bulbs formed, we got cloves. It's just the paper and the skin isn't formed enough or that thick and that dry. It's still very, very fresh. So we're going to pull all of that variety out and get that preserved up so we don't waste. Unfortunately, it's not going to be for storage. But it is a variety that's just starting to develop scapes, but I'm not going to be able to harvest the scapes. So that's a little disappointing. But all in all, the fact that we're going to be harvesting almost maybe even 100 bulbs of garlic in total, not today, in total with the two varieties. Although we're missing out on the scapes, this is still such a win, especially last year we attempted garlic. I attempted maybe 10 plants. And I think only in the really big pot, I tried it in a pot, only 2 plants ended up developing. So I just kind of scrapped it because it's like, it was such a big pot that took up a lot of space just for 2 random spots. So last year was my very first attempt at garlic and we got nothing. So although this year, the variety we're pulling up now, which again, I don't know what it is. I have to go back on my old video and figure out what I planted where. I thought because it's only 2 different varieties, I'd remember. I don't remember. But we're going to go out and get the garlic. I'm super happy and excited for this. And the other variety, that is nowhere near done. So that is going to keep on growing and hopefully that develops completely from to finish. So when we do harvest that, we can use that for storage, especially now we're going to have a lot of fresh eating. I know Nick wants to pickle some garlic today, or maybe not today, but like with the harvest from today. I want to make a roasted garlic focaccia from scratch. And then I think the rest of the garlic we're just going to peel and chop and get frozen in little pucks, like little pucks. A general amount that we'll use in a cooking, in a dish, and have that in the freezer. So then we've got our homegrown fresh garlic in the freezer, all peeled, all chopped, ready to go for cooking. Just to use it up because obviously we can't store it if it hasn't developed the papers properly. But let's go out. It is windy, so it's more likely going to be a montagey voiceover, unfortunately, for the most part. But yeah, we'll go get the first official harvest of our garlic.
Alrighty, so here is the patch where at the moment I have little zucchini seedlings which are not growing. I did have my ranunculus and my ranunculus grew right up, even in within the same line of garlic because I forgot where I planted the bulbs, like the cloves of the garlic and the ranunculus corms. I kind of planted them in the same line, but it didn't affect either one of the plants, so I thought that was fun to note. So this garlic here is the Australian white. It is nice and luscious and it's growing really good. And now right here is the one we're going to harvest today, which is the Dungangski Purple. I'm just going to call it the purple garlic. So you can definitely tell the difference between the two in the looks. Some right here like that is pretty much completely dead and it's tiny, and you got pieces like this which is pretty much all green still, but majority of it is dead then green. And then I saw this like wasp bee kind of thing and I kind of got scared. I don't know why it was like a burrowing. I never noticed that, and thankfully it did go away. I went inside, made a coffee or a water, I can't remember what I done, but I wanted to avoid it a little bit. But here I'm just pointing out, see that one right there is completely dead, that one's almost completely dead. So I was just kind of pointing out some things. I was too scared to get too close in case that bee wasp looking thing was around but I couldn't see it and I worked up with the courage to harvest and we were all good. So here I'm trying to figure out the line between the two varieties. I thought it was straight line, so from here onwards this is the white variety, and so from this line back it is the purple. But you can see right at the start of that line, it is so obvious looking back on video, like this one I'm about to pull now, that's so obvious that belongs to the white side of the garlic. So my line, I didn't do too, like it wasn't a full line, so I planted a few white cloves and then I went on to the purple variety. So that's where I confused myself. I didn't realize I'd done that now when harvesting, and to be honest, I was disappointed pulling this garlic up. I'm like, why is it so thick, so long, and the bulb is like, it doesn't even look like it's a formed bulb. Like, it's kind of big. And I was right, that was not a form bulb, that was literally just a clove, and I'm like so annoyed now watching it back that I'm pulling it up, but I thought we'll try again, continuing the line. But to be fair, this one is a proper bulb. Again, the papers aren't form. This one would not be storage because it is still underdeveloped, but it actually had cloves to it, so that was fun. So yeah, at least as well, this is kind of like a good tester to see how that other garlic is going, the one that kept in the ground. So now I believe this is now the purple garlic. So still within the same line. I just confused myself, to be honest. Yeah, this is definitely the purple because it's a soft neck. You can see that stalk is very floppy. And I think this is where I realized, I'm like, hang on. This stalk is very, very fluffy. So, and I was even like, yeah, just measuring the stalk thicknesses. Yeah, very different. So from this shot as well, you can see definitely the growth of the two. And what is funny, because the purple variety, which is the one at the front here, which we are pulling up today, that grew, they were the first ones to sprout, like to germinate. They grew so much faster. They've reached, I felt like they did grow longer than what they ended up. Do they like kind of shrink? I know obviously they'd have the dye back, but yeah, that white garlic, that one took longer and it is absolutely thriving, the one in the back there. So I was also nervous that maybe because of how little these plants were in now compare, that these something really bad did go wrong underneath the soil. But no, we're all clear. This, I assume that's just how this variety is, and it worked out really, really well. You can see little bits of a white cardboard. That's because in my landscape area that I'm currently working on, we have cardboard down for weed pressure, and then it's slowly decomposing. I'm just re-topping up the cardboard until we actually get like gravel or something to go around there. That whole section's not ready for that though. I've kind of delayed it a bit. So yeah, some bits of cardboard had flown in. I just left it. It's natural things that's going to decompose anyway. And I don't know what I've done, but this was the only weed. The whole garlic growing season, I did not have to pull any weeds. It was same as last year. The weed pressure was very minimal in this section. I only had one garlic that did snap, which I'm digging my fingers down now. So I don't know why there's no weed pressures in this whole in-ground space. Just on this side, on my other in-ground space. I don't know if it's because this is where I work in the most and I'm constantly putting down a new crop. Something comes up, something goes down. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I've done, but I love how there's like no weed pressure. And then here onwards is obviously the garlic we are keeping in the ground to continue to grow, which is the Australian white garlic.
Look at all this. So this is, it's hot out, but this was actually easier, and this is all of whatever variety garlic this is. It's both like very white, but there's still purple on it, which I'm pretty sure it's Australian white still. Probably, I do think it's Australian white garlic. Still supposed to have some purple on it. Definitely have the biggest bulb by a mile here. I think I'll insert a picture. I harvested one 2 days ago. That probably would have been one of the biggest bulbs as well. Otherwise, for sure, this one right here is pretty damn giant. Now, if you want giant bulbs, elephant garlic. That's what my parents are currently growing. I just wanted regular garlic. But I reckon next year I will get some elephant garlic because that's been fun watching my parents grow that. But I think I'm going to lay them out, inspect them all. Because this isn't for storage, I might hose them off to just get as much dirt off as possible. And then, yeah, we'll trim like all the leafy stuff and the roots. We don't need to bring that inside the house. So outside we'll get them all clean and just into the actual bulbs. Obviously they're going to get wet. I'll leave them just to still dry off that water and that moisture for an hour or so. It's pretty hot, probably won't take long. And then yeah, we can go inside and get these preserved. But I don't know what I was going to say. All I can smell is garlic. It smells so strong. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So there's a lot of them, they didn't actually form like this one here. That doesn't look like it's a proper form. That might be like an individual clove. You can still peel it down and eat it. So I'm actually surprised because I have done a few tests, and I would say there's, I don't know, maybe 50%. We'll find out when we lay it out. I reckon 50% is properly formed. The other 50 is probably not. But that's fine. This is still more that I put in the ground for sure. We have been eating and enjoying garlic. Like I said, I've pulled up maybe 3 or 4 plants now of this type, and we still got a whole nother crop. So I don't know how many plants exactly we got left, but I did go a count. So I planted them in rows of 9, and there's 7 rows of 9. Whatever the math is at, I'll put it on the screen. And I'm pretty sure maybe there's like 2 gaps where a plant didn't grow. So we got, yeah, quite a bit of garlic still to go. But yeah, this is great. Let's pull this out onto the table and inspect it. Oh, that's what I was going to say as well. I can tell there's a couple is rotting, like, or I don't know, it's just very wet in patches. So we'll inspect that a little bit closer. But yeah, I'm still so happy with all this garlic.
So my mother-in-law gave us an early Christmas present, which was one of these umbrellas and the umbrella stand. This is such a game changer for doing things like this, just enjoying time outside, but also projects like this. I was trying to like demonstrate how I was trimming it, but it was too windy, so I'm just doing voiceover here. But I'm trimming off all of the roots and the greens. It doesn't really matter how low on things you go. I am not going to cure this garlic. If I was curing, I wouldn't trim off anything. I would just lay them out, not in the sun like this, but I would lay them out and wouldn't trim anything until they are dried out completely. But we cannot cure this garlic because it's not properly developed. The skins haven't developed.
Alright, so these are the bulbs that I don't think actually did form into a bulb. We can still get some edible garlic from all of these bulbs, so definitely more in this scale, which is unfortunate, but I don't know, maybe I was too paranoid and I harvested too early. But I think I did do the right thing. Some of this is for sure hard. So this is a soft neck garlic, which means soft neck is the one that forms escapes. So as you can see, it's very, very soft and floppy. This, not at all. So this is the other variety, which I think is the purple variety. And there is more purple on this one. So I do think the rest of these, so that might even be hard. And I am thinking now, I do think I did mix between 2 rows. So that's all right. It is what it is. We still got plenty outgrowing. I haven't done a count yet, but I'll put that number on the screen for, and I might be wrong. Some of these might actually be proper with cloves. I'm not too sure. And then I got 3 here, which is kind of in between. It might be cloves, it might not. It kind of feels like it is, but with that size, I don't think it is, or not properly yet. So I don't know, we got kind of 3 here in between, and then this is for sure proper bulbs of garlic. So I was right, this one was definitely the biggest. I think the one I harvested the other day though was bigger than this, so that's kind of disappointing. The stalk that I harvested the other day was tiny like this, so I wasn't expecting it to be so big. I just assumed bigger stalk would be a bigger bulb. In this instance, between these two, that's obviously the case, but trust me, it was not the case yesterday. So I think this is great how nice and big this is, but all in all, that's still a lot of garlic. This is going to be great. And plus, with all the plants currently growing, plus like I said, we can still eat from this patch. I reckon we probably have grown a year's worth of garlic. Obviously I can't save no seed to regrow this like I wanted to, but again, hopefully with the ones that I'm currently growing, we can cure them and save some seed, and then I might just buy some seed again next year to plant.
So in total, we had harvested 54 bulbs of garlic. My goal was to grow 100, to grow and harvest at least 100 bulbs. I think I planted about 130 or 130 something in the ground. 54 here, and then we got 61 still currently growing, so definitely over 100, and I'm very happy with that. And it is crazy. Oh, and while I was doing this, Nick, I brought some solar lights Nick hung up on the umbrella. I do need to get some more though. It said 4 meters. I thought that'd be plenty. That's obviously not plenty, so I was grateful he done that. But you can see how little now my harvest actually looks with all of that greenery and the roots go. I just think that was kind of hilarious. But all in all, I don't know, that's right, sorry, I did clean them up first. So I gave them a hose and a scrub, and then I let them sit out for a couple of hours in the sun just to get all of the actual water off of them. It is layers and layers. Moisture did go in. This is another reason why you cannot cure it, is because I did decide to hose it all down and clean it all. I didn't want to bring the dirt and things inside knowing I'm going to process all this garlic, but I just ended up spending my whole time out here, and this took me 4 days. I was expecting to get it all done today, and then I thought, oh, you know what, I'm not going to finish it, I'll get it all done tomorrow. It took me 4 days, but it's something I definitely wanted to get to and keep working on every day till it was done. Look how pretty it is, all clean. And this is why I thought it was the white garlic, because look how white it is. It's definitely the purple garlic. It's just, again, the papers are underdeveloped, so the colouring of the papers as well is underdeveloped. So the colour of this garlic really shines through and comes through when it starts to dry out and to die back. I mean, the plants were dying back, but not around the bulb. So in total we have harvested 1.4 kilos of garlic, and yeah, I just spent my time out here, like I said, over 4 days. This is still all the present day. I only just filmed this one day. I thought it looked really pretty, so I was trying to keep some bulbs intact, which I did, and I am still using them. They're fine, but they do need to get used first. Nick pickled some garlic. He got a whole jar worth of garlic, and then I just blitzed the rest in olive oil and done it on teaspoons, froze it, and now those little pucks are in a freezer bag, in double layered freezer bag to use in cooking. And now I'm at my parents' house, so I thought I'll show you guys a little walk around their little garden. This is a chili plant that they overwintered with chilies still on it, and they're like dried up chilies now, and they do come out and harvest the naturally dried chilies, like dried on the vine chilies, and they're still using that, which is completely cool. I think, I don't know. I didn't really know you could do it, but they done it, and yeah, it's cool. So this is that tomato bush. I've given up tomatoes. Tomatoes is not my year this year, which is unfortunate. But that tomato plant, they just have one. They don't do preserving or anything like that. They just generally grow to eat fresh, which I think is fantastic. And I'm trying to point out, which was kind of hard to see, but the garlic scape came from a couple of these elephant garlic. So that's the garlic they have here. Sorry, I don't think I said that. So they're growing elephant garlic, and the garlic scape came up, and they let me harvest it, and I could use it. So we put it in, I think we put it in a pasta dish. I can't remember what I'd done. It was only a couple of scapes. So I'm just having a little wander around the garden. I just like to look at the things. I don't know, I just really enjoy it. This is their pond area, which I think is really, really beautiful, and I love it. And those lily pads, I believe, are from my auntie's pond, which is like 4 hours away. I don't know, it's just so cool. And then I noticed, I was like, wow, this has put on so much new growth. This is the kaffir lime leaves, and I am running low, so I decided while it's in its prime to restock it. And there's Web. The scent was very strong with these leaves, so poor Webber did not like the scent on my fingers. It just smelled like lime. All I done was picked one, but yeah, thanks to my parents' garden, and I got some lime leaves to put in my freezer now.
Hey Ren, don't mind the laundry behind me. It's now at the end of the night, so I went to my parents' house. I haven't finished prepping the garlic. That's going to be finished tomorrow. It will be fine for like a couple of days, but I definitely do want to get to it tomorrow because of all that moisture and it just not developed the papers properly. But like I would have mentioned a lot of times throughout this video, that yeah, we'll be preserving it because it's not going to be good for storage. So finish the garlic tomorrow, but for now I'm going to end this video. We will together make a roasted garlic focaccia. That's going to be really, really fun. So that'll be coming out in a separate video, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. And yeah, I gifted a couple bulbs of garlic to my parents. Looked at that garden. I harvested some, I was going to say bay leaves again, the kaffir lime leaves from them, played a couple of board games, watched a horror movie because it was Halloween night. Nick's been working late, so I didn't want to be home alone on Halloween night. Otherwise, I would have done all of that garlic throughout the night tonight. But yeah, because I didn't want to be home alone, I went to my parents and we had a fun evening as a family, which was really, really good. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe down below so don't miss out on my future videos, especially my roasted garlic focaccia video. I know it's been a while since I've cooked on here. But yeah, we'll slowly get back into the swing of things and get back to cooking. And there's definitely more garden videos coming out soon. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.